Hello, everyone. Today is August 12th, 2021, and I'm coming at you with a live video today, kind of a follow up on a live I did a few nights ago, where I was talking about my incident where I was almost hooked and reeled in by a narc on social media. And I hadn't been speaking about narcissism or, worrying about narcs or trying to bust them out for a while because I thought I was pretty good and healed and, I could spot them and all that good stuff. But after carefully considering this, I realized that, it still needs to be spoken about because there are still a lot of people out there that are vulnerable and are, being preyed upon and, you know, um, abused by these narcissists. And when we keep our testimonies to ourselves, those of us who are survivors, and we don't share, speak about it, it allows the abuse to continue on, behind closed doors because a lot of victims tend to hold secrets and, are embarrassed or ashamed and don't want to talk about it. However, that just gives, these narcs kind of a smoke screen to be able to continue to go out there and violate people unbothered because nobody's looking at them because most people I know at least I was too when I got out of it. I just wanted to just go somewhere and just be left alone. I didn't want to be bothered or I didn't want to be exposed, or I felt like I had to kind of go somewhere and hide to protect myself and to not be um, captured or entangled again with them. And it actually took me, a few years to actually get strong enough to be able to talk about it and share with people what I had been through because, I was embarrassed and because I felt like I had saw the red flags in the beginning, but I just wasn't clever enough or enlightened enough to see how to get out of it. And before I knew it, several months had went by, and this narc was in my house, in my life, and just it was the worst experience I ever had. Like I'd never been in such a toxic um, situation. I wouldn't even call it a relationship because like the whole time that from the initial start of it, I was trying to escape, trying to figure out a way to get out of it because I didn't understand like why would somebody I had never been uh entangled with somebody who kept trying to get me to stay, like who wouldn't accept the breakup. Like, I'm 50 and so I've been around for a little minute here and never had got entangled with or was aware of such a sick one that wouldn't, like why wouldn't you let somebody go if someone's saying, hey, this isn't working out, I'm not happy, you're obviously not happy because you're cheating and you're doing all this stuff, so why are you, trying to keep keep this going, like why can I get out of this? So it led me to really doing a lot of research to find answers because I was like, this was something that never happened. So today's video is going to be, the title is how to tell if you're interacting with a narcissist on social media, because social media unfortunately is the narcissist playground. They it's almost like it was invented just for them because it's like it allows them to kind of maximize their reach because you can interact with so many people on social media. They don't even have to be in your city, your state, and even country too. I've been getting approached by a lot of Africans and stuff like that too that are, Narcs are all over. Like they're they're all over. There's not a place on earth where they do not exist. They're all over. So anyway, some of the ways you can tell if you're interacting with ones on there, because at one point you're going to have to come from under your rock. You can't just keep hiding. Like, you're going to have to interact with people, and you can't just always be scared. I'm talking to myself too, because sometimes I'll entertain some, when they try to inbox me and stuff, but I'm constantly looking for red flags. And recently it's been pretty easy to spot them. However, like, there are different levels of them. So, none of us are above getting reinfected with them. We build up a resistance, but we're never immune to them. So some of the ways you can tell is by the language. Like I've said before in a prior video, that they operate from the same playbook, and they have to go through the cycles of love bombing, devaluing, discard, and then the Hoover. Like I've said before, you have an opportunity to resist that so you don't have to get brought back in there. But studies have shown that victims of abuse, and it's not just physical abuse, narcissism usually do a lot of mental and emotional abuse. But victims of abuse tend to leave and return back to the abuser up to 7 times before they finally figure it out and learn how to go no contact, and leave and stay gone, like don't go back and stuff. Because with the Hoover, if they Hoover you back, like I said, the term comes from the vacuum cleaner. So what they're trying to do is to suck you back into the relationship, to treat you like dirt. So try not to fall for that. But some ways that they do, you can tell if one of them's on the other end of the social media trying to ensnare you, is that they'll be very, like, okay, in the beginning you may not notice it, like the text, they'll come when they're communicating with you, it'll be very rapid fire. Like, before you can even finish putting your response in, the next question is right there. And how strategic it's set up. Like, they're kind of, really, they've already looked at your social media, so they kind of already have an idea of who you are and what you're into and all that stuff. So they will just kind of confirm their suspicions by asking you questions. And for the most part, most of us we're not really thinking, so we're answering freely. We think like we're in a real legitimate conversation with a person. So the tip number one is to go look at their social media and try and see if you can find things that look suspicious. Like, a lot of these narcs, some of them have already gotten in trouble with the little social media, so they'll shut down their account. They're notorious for starting up fake accounts, because they'll use those fake accounts to stalk, like, prior victims, or even stalk you, and they use the fake account so you won't know who it is. So you can look and kind of tell, like, if it's the the account is kind of scarce, it doesn't really have a lot of stuff on there, especially on Facebook. Facebook is pretty old, and most people, even older people, have Facebook and have been on Facebook now for a few years. It's hard to find many people out there that don't have a Facebook account. You may not use it all the time, or you may have periods when you kind of get off or something like that. But for the most part, most people have a Facebook. So usually the narcs, they'll try to lie. They'll come in with, trying to look like an innocent little lamb. I'm new to Facebook. Anyway, that's how the one that I just did the video about kind of got to me, came in with that whole new to Facebook thing. Other things that they'll do is that you can tell is, once they kind of got you, the the response to the text will have like a delay in it, and you're like, if somebody sends you a text, they initiate the text, and you respond right back because you were available to respond back to the text. If the response from them now is delayed, then to me that indicates some type of a game or something. Because if you send in a text and person send back a text to you, then obviously you should be available because you just initiated the text. Sometimes the narc will be playing games, but oftentimes it's because the delay is because they're actively texting multiple people at the time. So they're getting back to you. So you just have to wait for your turn. So that's probably about good 80%, 90% of the reason why the text message will be delayed is because like they're engaging with multiple people, so they're answering this one, then coming back on that, because they getting exhilarated off all the ding ding dings and the interacting with multiple people. So that's a way too, you can tell, like, if the response is delayed, question like, why is that delayed? It's because they're communicating with other people. And another clue is that once they get a chance to meet you and the introduction's been made, you immediately get like a pet name, like Bay or Hun or some type of a pet name. And it's usually a generic name because, like I said, they're already interacting with multiple people. So to decrease the chance of getting the names wrong, if everybody is Babe or Hun or Sweetie or something like that, then, you can kind of can blanket, use that one out. And some of them are lazy enough to even like copy paste send send the same message to multiple people. And I'm laughing because it's so obvious, yet when most of us, we're using our emotions and stuff. So if we're kind of functioning with our emotions, we don't see the obvious juvenile, the stuff is so, it's like after you look back on retrospect. But especially if you're lonely or it's been a while since you've engaged with somebody, you may fall for it. The other thing is too, like when you first get in there, and these are all clues to the love bombing. If somebody's calling you beautiful and gorgeous and you're just so all these great things in the beginning, that's a red flag right there. Because normal people, you may give a compliment here or there, but the how intense it is and how overdone, and especially a lot of the narcs are attractive themselves. So it's like a if you're if a highly attractive person isn't necessarily just flooding people with compliments, because you're just don't do it. It's just like, you give one or two, but good heavens, it's like, why are you acting? And then too, if that person is, physically appealing like that, why are they so, not saying that you're not, attractive person also, but, you know, why are they acting like there's like you're the only you're the only somebody special or attractive person out there? Like, really, these are clues. And I'm talking to myself too, because I was kind of swooning with all of the compliments and all this stuff. And the other clue is oftentimes they'll say that they've been praying for you, praying for God to send somebody like you to them, or they've been fasting and praying, and and they're thanking God for you, that God sent you to them. They'll use those kind of that kind of verbiage, that you are a blessing, that you are their blessing that they've been praying for. And there you go, right? So those are some of the words that you'll tend to think about. And other red flags is the immediate trying to confine you into a relationship, like right away. It's like we're just meeting. like the narc that I was telling you about, it had only been 2 days. It hadn't even been a good, 36 hours before the love word was mentioned. And, of course, I was, answer to the prayer. He had been praying and fasting, for me and stuff. And for a couple of days, I had really, I was really ignoring the red flags because I had saw, some suspicious texts or, just some things that weren't kind of adding up. Like he'd say one thing and then this here would show up. And at first, I would just like, I just kind of ignored it. But then when I would bring it to the attention, it's like, hey, how come this? And you said that. And then he would go with the whole distraction and all those things to further verify for me that, okay, yeah, this person is a narcissist because this isn't normal. Like if you're just meeting somebody, you haven't invested anything. So why are you demanding that somebody stay with you or begging for somebody to give you another chance? It's been 4 days, like it's been 4 days, boo boo. So why are you shouldn't be acting up like that. It's but these narcs do that. And then if you're feeling like somebody's just like this, just get yes, trust your gut. Like listen to your gut. And I'm not going to hold you up for too much longer. I just wanted to come back and say that, yes, I will be talking more about it because a lot of times if we don't look at these red flags and we get entangled, it's difficult to get out of there. And these people are very possessive. Like they're feeling like, you're their property. You're gonna be part of my narc harem here, and if trying to leave, some of them can get violent or angry. They are notorious for raging and things like that. So you want to be careful about how much you give of yourself, especially in the beginning. Give it a little bit of time because normal people, even though you may feel good about something, but still, like you're not like confessing your love for somebody within a few days. Like, you, especially if you haven't even seen them. And these narcs are doing it over the social media, sending the love in the text. So, you want to be careful on these kind of things because a lot of times, especially if you do engage with them and you try to get out of it, a lot of these, people, like you hear about people getting killed by the ex and all that stuff. It'd be a lot of narcs or, guilty of killing people and stuff. They're so angry and resentful and bitter that you chose to leave. Like they'd rather see you dead than to go have a peaceful life. So you know uh, these narcissists aren't to be played with or to think that it's something not that serious. I know I laugh a lot because I'm a comedian, but it's very, very serious. So I'm laughing because it's it's laughable because some of the things that they say, they sound so juvenile. It's almost like what a 3-year-old would say. Like if you caught them with, with cookie crumbs around their mouth and you say, hey, I told you not to eat the cookies. And they, I not eat no cookies, but you see the crumbs around their mouth. This is how these narcs are. Like when you spot the lie and you point it out, they will, hey, but that's not that what you supposed to believe what I tell you. Said, but the ID that you just showed me for proof of your who you are says something else. So how is what's there's a lie somewhere here. Either you're lying or your ID is fake, right? So anyway, let me get back to the story here and say that be aware. And if you have stories to talk about these narcs, please share what's going on so we can bring awareness to it and help more people to avoid getting entangled. And if you are entangled, take safe measures to be able to get yourself out of it and to be safe. You have to put together an exit strategy. You can't just be like, oh, I found out you're a narc and get out of there. You have to keep that to yourself and be actively trying to figure out a safe way to get out, because 9 times 9.5 times out of 10, they're not going to just let you get out of, especially if you've engaged with them. You know, you did the bang, bang, looky with them, they ain't letting you go. So be careful out there. And again, stay narc free. Like and subscribe and share. Talk to you later. Love you.